Hello Gemini, Gemini Rising, and Gemini Moon people. This is your weekly astrological and card forecast for the week starting January 2nd, 2016. And a quick reminder for you guys, remember Tarot Tutorship online classes are starting on the 8th, so if you would like to sign up for those and hold a spot for yourself, you do need to go to my website, integrativemysticism.com. I'll be sending out forms and reading material later on this week. And of course, again, same website, again, if you'd ever want to get a session with me, or schedule an appointment, or get a downloadable video file. So, what is going on with your astrology for this week, Gemini? Well, for the majority of the early parts of the week, Tuesday, Wednesday in particular, we do have the Sun and Mars in a very nice sextile between your 8th house, the area of your passive income, your supplemental income, self-employment income, and Mars in your 10th house of career. And what's happening, interestingly enough, is that there's an opportunity to make some extra money through work, but it's almost going to feel like it's on the side this week. This could be a boost to maybe sales or commissions or tips or whatever you make, or this could actually be something that you take on as a side project as a favor in the workplace this week. But financially, things seem to be looking very nice because of this nice connection here. I will say, though, this is going to take up extra time since Mars is involved. You know, it is going to be on top of what you already do, so make sure that you are available for that. Later on in the week, we've got Mercury retrograde all the way back into Sagittarius. And it's only going to be retrograde there for like 4 days, so it's not that bad. But it is going back into your 7th house of partnerships, your closest one-on-one relationship. So this could be boyfriend, girlfriend, spouse, business partner, best friend, roommate, that kind of thing. And whenever we have Mercury retrograde go back into this area, we have an opportunity to kind of revisit a topic or maybe even revisit a person. And this would be revisiting something that was, up for discussion or up for grabs back in October or November of 2016, closer to the end of October there, give or take a few weeks around Halloween. And I'm wondering if this might be an old business opportunity or an old roommate opportunity or possibly, again, even an old love opportunity coming back into your space. If you have been maybe on the outs with a roommate or with a friend even, and you've been sort of, maybe spending the last couple of months doing the silent treatment thing, they may be ready to talk, or you may be ready to talk following Thursday of this week and going into early next week. So we may be also be getting a chance to patch this up. So what is going on with your cards this week, we may ask? Well, for your spiritual advice, we do have the card of the Wizard. Alright, and the Wizard is basically talking about doing the right thing, not the popular thing. Wizards aren't necessarily popular unless you're reading the book that the Wizard's in. And when we talk about the Wizard, doing the right thing, not the popular thing, sometimes it means doing what's best or saying what's necessary for people, even though it may challenge them, even though they might be in a vulnerable place, even though it might, and I hate to use this word, in vain, but trigger them. And I feel like with the Counselor card, what can happen is, excuse me, is that we have a chance to really kind of pinpoint some serious issues this week for solving, for clearing. Again, in any area of our life, it's the spiritual advice card, but we have to be willing to speak up and call things out. Alright? And this, whether it's calling somebody out on their BS, calling a policy or a rule out on how much it doesn't make sense, or maybe how it just needs to change, it's okay to speak up with the Wizard card, but also at the same time, you might be doing this with loved ones, especially with people that you may have been coddling or protecting from themselves. But again, don't forsake the right thing for the sake of being popular. I guess UPS was just next door. Anyway, moving on. For your Earth sector, for your work and finances, we do have the Eight of Wands reversed, and yes, I'm using a new tarot deck. It's the Modern Spellcrafters Tarot, and it's absolutely gorgeous. And with the Eight of Wands reversed, when it comes to work and finances, again, we have a chance for things to get a little bit disorganized, piling on too much work, or maybe things kind of losing a sense of direction. Now, we have a lot of good energy astrologically, so I'm guessing that this might be us biting off more than we can chew, or things scattering in different directions because we're not really able to concentrate on too many things at one time. Sometimes the Eight of Wands inverted is saying that we need to pay attention to where other people are not going as fast as we are, and if we want to check in with them, we need to adjust our pace accordingly. Sometimes, a client or a customer is not ready to respond, but the best way to fix it is to actually have a dialogue, have a check-in with them, have a powwow with them. Don't just sit and wait around. Same thing with interviews, same thing with meetings, because the Eight of Wands reverse is saying there is sort of a stall, but the reward is being able to actually confront the stall. We don't have to do it in a desperate hustler way either. We can do this in a way that's, again, very much nurturing. But what I like about this card, interestingly enough, in spite of the fact that it's reversed, is that we do have you getting ahead, even though, it might be getting too far ahead for others at the office. So financially things should be going well, but if you want things to keep going well, I would highly recommend, actually having some powwows this week and making sure that you have clearance to go even further and faster, because you will have a chance to get ahead of a lot of people, or maybe even expedite something if you do. For your communications with air, when it comes to your friends and your relatives and the others in your life, we do have the Ten of Pentacles upright, gorgeous card, because this does indicate news of some kind of big financial success, either coming to you or to your household, to your family. The Ten of Pentacles usually talks about something that's going to sustain itself well beyond just the immediate future, something that's going to last the test of time. This can also be great news for those of you who are house hunting, or those of you who are looking to find some kind of new space or some kind of new venue for yourselves. But I do like the Ten of Pentacles because it does fall in line with what we were talking about before, about extra income, supplemental income opportunities coming in. This may actually say that what you can do in addition to the work that you're already doing is something that you're going to be doing at home, or something you're going to be doing with a friend or a family member. Either way, there's a big payoff, and this person is already, ready to kind of jump into this with you. So I'm feeling like, you should take it. You should seize this opportunity, whatever it is. This could be, again, a financial opportunity that's being put back on the table by Mercury retrograde, because sometimes it works for us. For your challenge this week with fire, we do have the Chariot card reversed. Okay, Chariot card reversed, as far as a challenge is concerned, usually has to do with things going too far too fast, which is a huge theme, it seems, this week. Only with the Chariot card reversed, you might not be the only one going too far too fast. Sometimes we have to pay attention with the Chariot card upside down as to where people might be trying to do things for, maybe they're in it for themselves a bit too much. Maybe it's our work team, maybe it's our family, maybe it's just a group that we're in. People are kind of trying to do something, they're taking too individualistic a stance, and it's really killing the team spirit, or maybe even the team effort. This could also have to do with the fact that, maybe even a client or a customer is losing sight of where this could even work well for them to participate in a team-like fashion, because the Chariot card reverse can talk about where, sometimes people tend to get really stressed out, and so they become more and more inwardly focused, and somehow, and sometimes act more selfishly. And then that gets out of control in a fast-paced situation. So I would honestly say that reining people in, being able to, again, corral the troops, being able to increase morale, that's your personal challenge this week. Can you inspire the people you're working for and the ones who are working with you and following you? Can you? For your emotions with water and your romantic life, we do have the Eight of Pentacles upright. Beautiful card, because this is all about you and your partner, or you and your crush, actually bonding over work that you do together. Okay, we are bonding over problem solving together, bonding over maybe a project together. In fact, the Eight of Pentacles basically says that you and your partner have taken too many, has spent too much time maybe taking turns, one working, one not working, one working, one not working. And again, we need to be bringing more teamwork back into this relationship. For those of you who are currently coupled, currently single, sometimes the Eight of Pentacles upright can say that you will meet somebody either through work or through their job, but also bond over some kind of problem-solving activity. It's not conventional, old-world kind of romance. In fact, the Eight of Pentacles upright says that all love is going to go extremely well this week if people can actually show you what they're capable of, and you can show what you're capable of in areas outside of love, learning to actually iron out all the details of a relationship by watching people, how does this person problem solve? How does this person, communicate and handle their friends? Are they a good friend to their friends? Or, all of those kinds of things. You're going to watch your partner or your prospective partner actually in the real world the way they are every day, and see them through new eyes this week. And I think that it's actually going to bring you both much closer, because they're going to be seeing you through new eyes as well. So that is your forecast, Gemini. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it. And of course, if you'd like to get a session with me, you can always follow the links below, or go to integrativemysticism.com.